To access the quoting or estimating screen, you need to select a job that you need to send a quote or estimate for. We will use this example job for this tutorial. You can produce either a quote or estimate as the document type. Click the Info tab here to get to that option. Just click on the relevant button to set the kind of document you wish to produce, like this. We will change this back to a quote now. We now click on the Quote or Estimate tab. The quote will give you a snapshot of how the document will look to the customer. It's not exact at the moment, as this page allows you to change many of the options. The first page is always the cover sheet. All of this text can be changed and logos added if you want. To change things on the quote, simply click on the boxed section and you will be taken to the relevant page on the system, where we can change or add to that information. You can add your logo, company details, customer info and job information from this screen. Once you have added everything, just return to this screen on the job. If you are adding your logo or company details, you will only need to do it once. You can overwrite any of the contents of the cover sheet by typing in the cover letter page area. There are some formatting tools for simple changes on the toolbar if needed. The cover sheet is set when you sign up. To change the default covering letter, select the Admin option from the main menu, and then the Company Documentation option. This is covered in more depth in another video. If you make a mistake and want to start again on the covering letter, just hit the Rewrite Covering Letter button. At the bottom of the cover sheet, you can put logos of any trade associations that you belong to, or accreditations that you have. You do not have to put these on. If you don't have any, don't worry about this section. If you do want to add them, just click the box to be taken to the relevant screen to upload them. We will begin with the Profit Markups section, which can be found under the Sending and Details options. Your customer will not see this profit information. It is broken down by material, labor, plant, PC sum and other. This is an important part of the job and quote or estimate, as it's where you put your profit percentage onto the cost price. You can click into the box here and change the numbers as needed. Look at the totals column to check that you are happy with the margins before you send out the documentation. You can change your default profit markups on the Company Details page, under the Admin menu option. We will now go back up to the management parts of the page. Working down from the top, you can see status of the job here, and we can update it manually if we are not using the interactive quote function. Simply press the relevant button when you get confirmation either way. The Send Interactive Quote button creates and sends an email containing a web link to your customer. This gives your customer a chance to review and accept or decline the quote or estimate. It also gives them the chance to ask any questions about the job. We will press the button now to send out a quote in this way. It prompts you to confirm that you want to send the quote, and once you confirm, an email with a link is sent to your customer. We can also see what the customer has received with this link that is created under the button. If you press the Copy Link button and then open up another tab on the browser like this, you can then paste the contents in and see what they receive. We will pretend to be the customer and accept the job with some comments. Once the customer has accepted, both you and the customer get emailed a copy of the quote at the time of the acceptance. This helps both you and the client, as it's a paper trail of the work agreed, so extras should be clearer. It will automatically change the status of the job, depending on what the customer chooses. If you wish to retract the quote or estimate at any time, just use this button to invalidate the link. You can also download the quote or estimate in a PDF or Microsoft Word format using this option, and then attach and send yourself. If you would like to email the document to yourself, you can also use this button. If you scroll the screen down, you will start to see the document as it appears at the moment. There are many ways we can change this to however you would like it displayed. The blue boxes dotted around allow you to enable and disable the individual sections on that part of the quote or estimate, but you can also do this across the whole document, using these options. The Show Header option will show the grouped section information. You can see the detail being turned on and off here. The Show Line Items allows you to remove the individual line items, so that you just have the grouping totals. The Show Quantities is only of use if the lines are being displayed, so we will turn them back on. If we remove the quantities, we also remove the unit and unit price. The Show Line Totals shows the total of the individual line. The Show Section Totals gives you a running total of the section. The grouping option allows you to set how the quote or estimate is laid out. If you would like it the same as the costing sheet, simply click the No Group option here. This will display the quote as it is on the costing sheet. The subtotals are the tasks that we have on the costing sheet. If you wish to display it in another way, you can click the grouping order like this. We will click the section area. This then groups all of the item lines in sections. You can now see that all the line items in a section are grouped together. We can take it a step further by adding a subgroup if we like, for example area, and finally line type. We can revert all the changes by simply clicking on the grouping buttons again to remove them. If you want to move a group up or down the document, use these small arrows here to have the quote or estimate in the order that you would like. Have a play around with the options to see what works for you and your customers. If we scroll all the way to the bottom, we can see the final totals area. This allows you to add a contingency to the bottom, check the VAT and the rate is correctly added and all the totals. If you are VAT registered, it will show the VAT, but you can untick this box. You can also change the VAT rate if needed. There is also a default set of terms and conditions that can be added. We have a default set in the system, but you can also change yours by navigating to Admin and Company Documentation and changing the terms and conditions there. It will then appear on all your quote and estimates. If you do not want it attached, simply untick the box. This concludes this video. As always, please engage with us if you get stuck or need some help.